It's important for me to have people on my team that are gonna do what I tell them to do and not know that I'm telling them to do it. Doesn't matter if my team is stronger physically or even stronger mentally, but just that they obey. It's all on how smart these people are. If they realize if they need you, that's what'll keep them loyal, right? Fear, basically. It's a tough principle, but fear keeps people loyal. If they're afraid they have something to lose, then they'll do what they tell you to do. That's straight out of The Godfather. It's true.
Every season of Survivor is a story. There are main characters, sidekicks, comic reliefs, and villains. A good season of Survivor tells a compelling story that has you rooting for someone and against someone else in hopes that it all ends in a satisfying conclusion. Each story that we look at together will go through one character's journey from beginning to end, from the time they are introduced until they inevitably get their torch snuffed or win the game. We will look at every character moment and strategic move to determine whether they were a hero or a villain, and whether they were a good or bad strategist. And with that, welcome to Once Upon an Island. Now, for reference, we're only going to be observing what the TV show is showing us and what story is being told through the show. No future seasons will be mentioned, as the story and characters here have no idea about what happens in those future seasons. Secret scenes and behind the scenes footage may be included to flesh out the story, and all character moments and strategic moves are interpreted with the mindset of what the story is trying to tell us. And now with that,
39 days, 18 people, 1 survivor. Do you think about the fact that the social game is something you're missing?
I don't care about that fact.
The problem with Russell, and I think what he's trying to say to you, is that he doesn't play the game to win. And it's clear in his strategy. He plays a good game to get to the end, but he doesn't play a game to win the game. And that's where he and I differ.
And you play the game to win?
I do play the game to win.
When have you won?
I haven't. But I guarantee, given the opportunity, I'd gladly go back and kick your ass all over the ice.
You know what? Let's make it happen. All right, you make it happen.
That could be a future season, Rob versus Russell.
I can't believe Survivor is doing this for real. An entire season based around Rob versus Russell. Who else would have this kind of control over Jeff to make a season all about them? Who are the other 16 players competing in this mess of a season? Let's just call them cannon fodder. I am not going to beat around the bush. Boston Rob is back for the 4th time ever in a cast filled with mostly new players, Russell being the only other returning player. Rob could easily dominate this thing. As him and Russell arrive by chopper, Francesca says these two are troublemakers, just calling them out in front of everyone. Big mistake. Rob goes to the Ometepe tribe, which has Francesca on it, and Jeff explains that there is an even bigger twist than Rob versus Russell.
There is one more twist. When you are voted out at tribal council, you will not go home.
What?
Instead, you will leave tribal council and you will be sent to Redemption Island, where you will live alone. When the next person joins you on Redemption Island, the two of you will square off in a duel. What? The winner stays, the loser is out of the game for good. At a certain point in the game, the remaining person on Redemption Island will be allowed to re-enter the game and continue their pursuit of the title of Sole Survivor and the $1 million prize.
Redemption Island does not scare me one bit. It's a vacation. Yeah, put me on that island and see what happens. Because I'm going to win the challenge, I'm going to come back, I'm going to take some heads off.
Yeah, that's right. If you are voted off, then there is a safety net that could see you returning to the game come the merge or the finale. We then go to the Ometepe camp, where right away, Matt and Natalie both say they love Rob and they're glad to have him here. But then we see Philip, Mr. Former Federal Agent ? Bossing the others around, mostly the women. Not super important for right now, but keep it in mind for later. Christina is looking through their tribe supplies for an idle clue, which includes a ton of carpentry things, and I am sure that Rob asked for this to be on his season as like, a caveat for even being here. But he realizes that, hey, the men are down 5-4 in his own tribe. So he talks to Philip and says, we should stick together. And Philip says, yes, Rob, of course, but then snitches to Christina and reveals he wants to work with the women instead, which is made worse when we realize Christina and Francesca both want Rob out, and they lose immunity to the ever-smug Russell Hantz, and Rob finally gets his first confessional of the season.
Originally, I wanted to vote Francesca off because the very first time I met her, she stood up on the mat, looked at Jeff and said, I don't want to play with him because he's too sneaky. She knows my game. So I don't want someone like that on my tribe. But after thinking about it some more, the second we landed on our beach, Christina was the one looking through all the supplies, looking for a hidden immunity idol. She's dangerous. She knows strategy. She knows to get out there and work for it. To me, I don't need someone like that with me.
Wow, the show waited a long time to let him talk to us. As a storytelling choice, this seems to be designed to make us worry that he is going soon. But you saw the runtime of this video. Rob ain't going anywhere anytime soon. He says tonight we split the votes between Francesca and Christina. It's simple, just don't Tyson the situation. So at Tribal Council, chaos ensues when...
I mean, like if Boston Rob got voted out tonight, which he's not going to, but if he did, he would probably be fine. So we could all feel that there's a good chance he's going to come back into the game at
I've
some
got
point.
an issue with that statement she just made, because Francesca and Christina asked me to cast my vote for Rob.
That is not true.
Excuse me.
I asked you to vote
Excuse me,
for
I
Rob.
didn't interrupt you while you spoke.
You are a crazy person.
Excuse me.
I'm going to interrupt you, Philip. I don't
Excuse
respect
me.
you. I'm
Excuse
going
me.
to say what I want to say when I want to say it. I'm sorry.
Jeff, I'm a former special agent, so if I make a statement to you, I'll do everything I can to make sure I adhere to that, and I will not betray. I'll go down on a sinking ship. And so my vote tonight will be for Francesca.
Francesca.
You and Francesca approach me to go along with them because she has an immunity idol.
So that was the plan? You two were going to get together and vote me off?
No.
And guess what? I was going to vote for Francesca because that meant Francesca. My mouth is dry and I've been getting treatment for it. So
You have the immunity idol? Give me the immunity idol and you'll stay. Give me the immunity idol and you'll stay. Why should I trust you any more than you should trust me?
I can't do that.
I'm just saying, by you not giving it to me, it makes me think that you're not telling the truth.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Wow, Philip just blew up everything, and now everyone knows Christina has the idol. So they all go to vote, and...
Francesca, because you're a liar and you're a devious player.
I had planned on voting for you or Boston Rob tonight, but your little crazy outburst has spared Natalie.
Man, it feels so good to play with you amateurs. You give away so much. You don't even know enough to keep your mouth shut. Thanks for the memories.
First person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Francesca, the tribe has spoken.
That is it for the premiere, and while the first 33 minutes of this episode tried to hide Rob as a main character, just know that is quickly going to change. The cat is out of the bag. The Robfather's back in full force. Did you know that Patreon is free to sign up for? Yes, that is the place where I give updates, post videos early, and have you all pick what I make now as a free option. Link in the description. You can cancel at any time, and there's a 15% discount if you do sign up for 1 year. Thank you for your support. Episode 2 starts with Philip talking to Rob right after Tribal and pledging his undying loyalty to him. Rob says, okay, sure, we shall see. Here's the deal. Rob claims that he knew everyone was lying to him and he had it all figured out before they said a word. It doesn't take a former federal agent ? To figure that out, he says. Rob's captivating way of talking to the camera is back as he makes not only himself seem like the smartest person in the room, but he brings you in with him so it feels like you're also the smartest player in the room, even though it's all through Rob's perspective. His charisma is unmatched.
I don't know if he's delusional. I think he's a good-hearted guy. I do. It just might not all be there. Let it be a lesson to you. Government jobs, stressful.
Now, we saw this twist of 2 returnees leading their tribe previously in season 11 Guatemala with Stephanie and Bobby John, but neither of them were especially good at playing Survivor. Boston Rob is like a shark in a sea of minnows. This is his 4th time playing, and he's been to the end before. He says his tribe are good little soldiers who will follow his orders. That's what he wants. But Matt and Andrea are getting way too close for his liking. He knows what strength a pair like that can have. Just look at what him and Amber did on All Stars and on The Amazing Race. They dominated. He then talks to Natalie and sees her as a perfect goat to drag to the end. And yes, the parallels to Russell Hantz here have not gone over my own head. But unlike Russell, Rob understands what the jury wants. Their tribe loses immunity again, and then Matt does the unthinkable.
Matt shaking the opposition's hand after we lost the challenge is despicable. When we just got our asses kicked, not once, but twice, back to back, I'm not going over to the other team and giving them hugs and kisses. Matt's trying to play the good Christian game and the social game and the end game on day friggin' 5. Wake up, brother.
Wow, what a big mistake. It seems like small potatoes to me, but Rob is making this into a big deal, and the story is leaning into what Rob is saying, not what Matt is thinking. Though to be fair, when doesn't it do that? Back at camp, Philip apologizes to everyone for losing immunity, and Rob comforts him by saying, hey, we win as a team, we lose as a team. This is not on you. He then talks to Matt and Andrea and tells them a fake plan to split the votes, but what they don't know is that Matt is the real plan, which is made funnier when we cut to Matt saying how impressive Rob is and how he knows exactly what to say to each person to make them feel good. Like Scotty in Eurotrip, Matt doesn't know. Rob tells Philip that he will tap the shoulder of the player he wants Philip to vote for, and at Tribal Council, he taps Christina. So they all go to vote, and
If anybody has a hidden immunity,
Jeff.
Thank you. This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast against Christina tonight will not count. First vote, Christina, does not count. Christina, does not count. Philip, 1 vote Philip. Philip, 2 votes Philip. Matt, 2 votes Philip, 1 vote Matt. Matt, we're tied. Matt. Wow. Second person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Matt. Matt, the tribe has spoken.
Rob's story has taken off like a rocket. He had 1 confessional in the premiere, and now in episode 2, he just got 12 of them. The next closest person on his tribe was Andrea and Christina, who each got 2 this past episode. Yeah, the contrast is stark. Episode 3 has him inviting Philip to take Matt's spot in their alliance, to which Philip agrees, and then Matt beats Francesca on Redemption Island. Rob wants Matt gone, but hey, there's still time. So he talks to Andrea, and
I like you, Andrea, and I think you're a good-hearted kid, and, you know, like, I'm sorry what happened, you know, I am. And, like, if I could have thought of any other way, then I would have. But it wasn't just me. There were 4 people that were involved in it, 4 people agreed to it, 4 people talked about it. Nobody wanted to do it.
I talked to Rob, and he assured me that I'm still part of their 5, even though I have a feeling I'm probably in a really sticky position. So right now, strategically, it's smart to stay with them and make sure they don't think I'm scheming.
Like, deep down, I'm like still really pissed about what they did. They took my good friend away.
Rob has made it clear with the Matt vote off, you fall in line or else. Andrea won't even consider the idea of flipping on him from here on out. He then wins his tribe immunity and reward, but remember this challenge for later as it is important. Back at camp, Philip's fat butt, according to Rob, that's what Rob says, reveals to him that the new idol clue is in the chair. Rob now has the idol clue, but doesn't have the idol yet. That night at Tribal Council, yes, the Zapatera Tribal Council, Russell is voted out of the game, but he could return with the Redemption Island twist. Episode 4 sees Rob pulling a trick out of his sleeve when,
While Philip and Christina were away at the duel today, I started thinking, I need to find the hidden immunity idol before Christina finds it again. The stomach's bothering me a little bit too.
It is?
Maybe like constipated.
Oh, no.
So I tell him I'm having a little bit of trouble moving things down in that area, you know, and I feel like something might be happening. I look at the girls, I said, it's time. I gotta try to relieve myself. I'm digging through rocks, I'm climbing trees, I'm looking everywhere, and I'm having a really tough time. So I just started searching from tree to tree. Ding, ding. winner. Yeah, baby, maybe I learned something since last time. As for my plans for it, right now, I'm not sure. But one thing I do know is that with this immunity idol, this time I'm gonna make it 39 days and win.
Absolute insanity. This season there's one idol per tribe, so unless Rob plays the idol he has, there will not be a new one hidden in their camp. But guess what? Over on Redemption Island, Russell is eliminated and he cries, but Boston Rob is not there to witness it. Why? I don't know. How did the show botch this rematch so badly? Everyone should be seeing this duel, and of course the immunity challenges should have featured some sort of one-on-one face-off between Rob and Russell. Instead, the show fumbled this twist hard. Rob will literally never acknowledge Russell's vote out on the show, not even a haha you suck kind of confessional, which is crazy considering the advertising that built the season up.
This February, get ready for the biggest Survivor showdown yet, when two of the game's baddest villains return. Rob versus Russell in the ultimate rumble in the jungle.
This island ain't big enough for the both of us.
I'm gonna need a bigger torch.
I apologize for the low quality of that clip, but it's all I could find. But the DVD extras for the season show even more stuff where all they did was hype up Rob versus Russell, and then the show just kind of does nothing with that. All that hype for nothing. It is so dumb. Philip comes back from seeing the Redemption Island duel where Russell cries and tries to blackmail Rob with the information he has to save Christina. Rob is like, the heck, why would you hide information from me? I thought we were an alliance. He then calls Philip a name I will not repeat in this video, and Philip reveals that Ralph has the Zapatera tribe's idol. That's the information he was trying to blackmail him with. They lose immunity again, and while Rob's alliance wants Philip out, it isn't what Rob wants yet. So they all go to vote, and Christina is eliminated.
Fourth person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Christina, tribe spoken.
Episode 5 sees Philip going around in his pink underwear, and Rob says, it's weird. It's like seeing your dad in his underwear. It's just like, it's gross and you don't want your friends seeing it. But Philip is keeping the attention off of Rob, which he does like. So Philip needs to stay. We then go to the Redemption Island duel, which has Matt crushing Christina easily. And during it, he asks Rob why he voted him off. And Rob says, hey, I don't make the decisions around here. Everyone decided to vote you off, Matt, not just me. Totally avoiding any blame, and it seems to work. Matt eliminates Christina, and Rob wins his tribe immunity again. But when he gets back to camp,
That is coffee, smell that.
You guys want to save the croissants for tomorrow?
Sounds great.
Does that sound good?
Yep.
I think the
Yeah, then Grant set a block for me. I was gonna take it out and put it in down my pants, but I was like, if I do that, it's too obvious. I have it on me. So when Grant turned the other way, he set a pick for me, and I went around the outside. It's like a well-choreographed football play. Unbeknownst to Grant, I ran to my stash of my original hidden immunity idol clue that I had buried, swapped them out, and put the original clue in my hand in place of the one that he thinks that we took out of the coffee. That first clue is so ridiculous. It says something about like looking in the sand and under a rock or maybe in a tree, dig for it, climb for it. Who knows? I mean, this is really all for nothing because I already have the immunity idol, you know? But it's fun for me. I have to entertain myself out here somehow. I had to hustle, you know? But you gotta hustle if you want to make $1. Everybody knows that.
so devious. Episode 6 sees Matt eliminating Krista, and at this rate, he is definitely going to return to the game. But Philip is causing Rob more headaches as he fights with the women about pulling their weight around camp, and Rob says actually he kind of likes the women slacking off. Rob wants them to give everyone no reason to vote for them come the end of the game. However, he does coach Philip into not making such a big deal out of the women doing nothing around here. He wants them to stay unified as a tribe. They win immunity again, and wow, on their epic reward.
So as Grant's showing me the note, Philip ends up walking up the stairs and sees the note too. It was a little bit like Grant and I were back in school and we got busted by the principal.
I've been in an alliance with Rob, Grant, and myself. In fact, I called ourselves Stealth or Us. I'm the specialist, Rob is the mentalist, and Grant is the assassin. And yet today, when Rob and Grant found the clue for an idol, they tried to hide it. Well, hell has no fury, like a lion or a gorilla. when he thinks he's been provoked. I could dwell in a place of negativity right now based on what I just saw. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to smile, and when the time comes, I'm going to kick a little ass around here.
Busted. I mean, Philip doesn't seem to take it too personally, but Philip also flies off the handle at a moment's notice. You just never know what you're going to get with him. We then see Matt beat Stephanie on Redemption, and wow, this kid is unstoppable. Philip then says, hey Rob, should we keep anything we learned on Redemption a secret from the others? And Rob says, no, but I'm glad you asked. And as Rob tells us, he says he wanted Philip to ask something like this so he could use it against Philip. You know, he wanted ammunition that was true. So Rob tells the rest of the tribe what Philip tried to do. And yeah, Rob is a real stranglehold over what this tribe thinks and what they do in a way that I've never seen before in this show. And that is represented well when the ladies make rice for everyone.
Rob wants all that crispy stuff. He probably will only eat that.
So I want one of the crispy, okay? Just one.
That's all Rob's eating. That's all Rob's eating.
But I didn't have one scoop of the crispy.
We didn't either.
We didn't have any.
I don't see where one scoop of the crispy would have been that.
It's Rob. Serve us.
I saw you guys get a scoop of the crispy. Let's not make a mountain out of a molehill. Wow. I'm sick and tired of the fact that they act like because Boston Rob is Boston Rob, he gets deference to everything. Let it be known, the first opportunity I have to eliminate him, I will. Am I feeling part of this tribe? Hell no. Am I giving 100% to this tribe, 110% to this tribe? Hell yeah. And I'm sick of it. I'm not quitting. I'm here to stay, but I want it to be on record. There is a division in this tribe, not of my making, of their making.
No one messes with Rob, and those he keeps close are loyal out of fear. Fear keeps people loyal. They win immunity and reward, which has them going to this awesome active volcano. And no, I don't know if this is the same volcano from season 21 that Fabio sledded down. However, keep in mind every time they're at a challenge and there's that pool, yeah, that's the same pool that Fabio peed in. But back to Rob and the volcano.
I've been on enough rewards to know whenever you win one, there's gonna be a clue. So immediately it hits me. The cookies are cylindrical shaped. The clue's gotta be in there. But it really doesn't even matter what it says because I already have the idol. So might as well just throw it away in the volcano. Bye-bye.
Episode 8 sees everyone getting a note that says the merge is incoming. Go to the Redemption Island duel because whoever wins is back in the game. It is Matt versus Sarita from Zapatera, and Rob does not want Matt to win. So of course, Matt wins and he re-enters the game. Great. The tribes are tied up 5-5 with Matt and Andrea. Whichever side they pick will win the battle, but remember, Rob has already instilled fear into Andrea. She's not gonna flip, so really, it's 6-5 with Matt in the middle. But while celebrating their new merged tribe, Rob suggests a name.
Merlonio means from the sea united.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Great. Is everyone like that?
I love Melania.
Merlonio? Say it one more time.
Merlonio? Merlonio doesn't mean anything. It's just an inside joke between Amber and I. She has a bunch of stuffed animals, and Merlonio is like the ringleader. So that's the name of our new tribe. 1, 2, 3, Merlonio!
Sneaky, sneaky. I wonder if Merlonio is one of these stuffed animals that you're looking at now from Amber's room that you can see from her post-season 2 interview. Yeah, but back to season 22. Rob is firmly established in us versus them mentality as their tribe sleeps in a separate location from Zapatera with the tarp that they won, while Zapatera gets to sleep in a shelter filled with holes and they get rained on. This is hardcore. But that night, Matt devises a plan that he pitches to Andrea. He says, we need to blindside Rob, which garners a big reaction. But here's the thing, Andrea is too afraid of the possible repercussions of failing, so she isn't fully on board. That's the loyal fear Boston Rob wants. He goes so far as to say he doesn't want people getting close over anything, whether it's the Bible, Oreo cookies, romantic comedies, nothing. He wants people at each other's throats at all time. Natalie then wins individual immunity, and back at camp, Matt reveals to Rob a big secret.
Mike was telling me, look, I have an idol for you and Andrea, him, Ralph, and Steve. And he's like, and I could use it to save you with it. And then it'd be you in the Final Four. I'm like, that'd be cool. Like, I want to go as far as I can, but I'm with y'all. Like,
thanks, man. That means a lot. It really does. Matt just told me he was thinking about flipping, and going with Zapatera. I mean, first of all, he has the audacity to think that he's going to come up with a plan to vote me out. And then the stupidity to tell me that. It just confirmed he can't be trusted. So because of it, I'm giving him a one-way ticket back to Redemption Island.
I came clean, told them about Mike and everything. I know, like, they wanted to bring you in, but I'm not flipping. We're not doing any of that.
Yesterday, Matt and I were like, okay, we're not telling anybody what we're planning. And now he's like throwing me under the bus to Rob. It's so stupid because like that could have sabotaged my plan to get to like the final 3 completely.
I am dumbfounded. I mean, this is a video about Rob, but why would Matt tell Rob that? He clearly feels like he wronged Rob and wants to come clean. But why? Is aligning with Zapatera a morally wrong move or something? I am blown away. But you better believe Rob immediately tells all of Ometepe that, yeah, Matt's going right back to Redemption. Grant says, isn't that kind of mean? Matt's a good Christian guy. And Rob says, yeah, he could still be a good Christian guy on Redemption Island. So cold, so very, very cold. At Tribal Council, David of the Zapatera tribe says, that challenge in episode 3, the one that I said, hey, make sure to keep this in mind. Yeah, apparently he threw it so they could get out Russell Hantz. This causes Philip to fight with Zapatera, and Rob is somehow avoiding all the drama. Who knew the 4-time returning player would not be in anyone's line of sight? This is crazy. So they all go to vote, and
if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Want to play this one on Mike?
Okay. This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast against Mike will not count. First vote, Grant. Steve. Grant. 2 votes, Grant. That's 3 votes, Grant. 4 votes for Grant. 5 votes for Grant. Matt. Matt. 2 votes, Matt. 3 votes, Matt. Matt. We're tied. 5 votes, Grant. 5 votes, Matt. 1 vote, Steve. 8th person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Matt. Matt, once again, the tribe has spoken.
Holy crap, Rob is not messing around, and you best believe this sends a message, and the entire Zapatera tribe gets it. They're blown away. Julie even says Rob is straight up evil to send Matt back to Redemption like that. But now, Ometepe will stick together like glue, or else they fear they'll become like Matt. Fear keeps people loyal. Ralph even tries talking to the women of Ometepe, and none of them even entertain a conversation with him. Why? Because Rob has implemented this new system.
From here on out, we don't decide who's going next until the very last minute.
Yes.
We're going to do the buddy system. Nobody talks to anybody on their own. Don't even friggin' entertain any crap with them.
No conversation about it.
No,
just the weather and
we're guaranteed to go to the final 6. I have a whole vision that I'm trying to put into action here. Keep an us versus them mentality. Thus the separate shelters, the separate eating times. I want my group to hate Zapatera. It's us versus them, and we're better than them. And we're gonna be arrogant about it, and we're gonna show it. I'm not, but I want them to. Because I want their votes at the end of the day.
If this season wasn't packed filled with cannon fodder and sheep, aka recruits, Rob would never get away with this. It's like they only saw him be a good guy on Heroes vs. Villains, and that's it. They never saw All-Stars or Marquesas. Natalie then tells Rob how Ralph tried talking to them and paints Ashley as a bad guy for not having told Rob already. Natalie is such a teacher's pet. Rob says Ashley is screwed up and she will not be in the final 3 now. I didn't know she's going to be there to begin with, but apparently now she's not going to be there. He says you have to tell him everything or you're done. Grant wins immunity and Rob says, we're voting off Mike because we need people on Redemption who can beat Matt. I don't want Matt back in the game. So at Tribal, they vote, and
9th person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Mike, the tribe has spoken.
That night, Rob tells Philip, hey, you're at the top with me. Don't worry about a thing. Why does Rob say this? Well, because Philip keeps fighting with Zapatera and is making himself an even bigger goat than before. Rob says Philip isn't really crazy, but he's a little crazy. So now Rob's ideal final 3 is with Philip and Natalie. What Rob doesn't know is that behind his back, Philip is saying that while right now, sure, he knows that Rob thinks of him as a goat, he will be flipping this game on Rob, Just now, not now. Now is not the time, he says. In my opinion, Philip has no social capital to do such a move, but I am interested to see him try. Andrea wins immunity and back at camp.
Hey, we got all kinds of fish. Hell, we got 50 fish.
Shut up!
Are they alive or are they dead? They're all dead. They're dead, you can't eat them.
Rob is trying to tell his people that fish isn't any good. Now, if Rob were to catch all that fish, that would have been a different story. They would have been feasting over there.
Here's the thing, I'm running my tribe like the army. I'm the general. They're soldiers, and they're all doing as they're told.
Here's the thing, Rob is right. There is a risk in eating those long dead fish. You can Google it yourself. However, the story here is less interested in Rob being right and more interested in painting him as the controlling mastermind. They want us to know that right or wrong, Rob is controlling Ometepe. He even says he's the general and they are his loyal soldiers, which is then contrasted with Grant saying, I am my own man and I make my own decisions around here. I don't just listen to Rob. Yeah, okay, buddy. So they all go to tribal to vote and
10th person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. David. David, the tribe has spoken.
Episode 10 sees a three-way duel on Redemption Island where David is eliminated by Mike and Matt. Matt just won't die and Rob is super ticked about it. Philip is also ticked, but not about Matt. He is annoyed that the other tribe is eating a lot of their own rice from their separate rice supply because yes, of course, Ometepe does not want to share the rice with Zapatera. So Philip goes over and steals some of Zapatera's rice for Ometepe, and it is wild to see this man jump through hoops to justify his behavior as the morally correct thing to do. Rob and Grant then sing a song about how there are rice wars, and little do they know what is about to happen. You see, Andrea finds maggots in their rice supply because Philip dumped out all their rice onto a blanket and exposed it to the maggots. And Philip asks Zapatera if, hey, can we share some of your rice? And they say, no, why would we do that?
The other rice is perfectly fine. Our container had a leak in the bottom of it. It got wet and it molded, but the rice that's on that towel is perfectly good rice. There's nothing wrong with it.
Wouldn't it have been smart to talk about this before you dumped it all out, Philip?
No, but I don't want to have that debate with you. You know what? I asked, unless you walk with that can, the first opportunity I have to take that can and hide it, I will. And you will come ask me for the rice. I'm a very reasonable person to deal with. You don't want to deal with things reasonably?
Yeah, reasonable. You're a lunatic.
I know I am, but that's your perception. Anytime somebody of my color gets up in one of your faces, then you feel like I'm a lunatic, I'm crazy.
Oh, he just brought in the race card.
Really? I remember I'm the chief of counterintelligence. Wing Chun Kung Fu expert here. Steve feels like he's better than me, you know, and I think it has some slight racial undertones to it. They're the ones that go to the next level to you're crazy. When he said that, I go, don't forget that. I am crazy. I just noticed that every single time I make an issue with the people of the former Zapatella tribe, suddenly a guy who was able to become a federal agent in three separate agencies suddenly becomes crazy. You now call me crazy. You are crazy. Every time I make an argument, suddenly I'm crazy. And that's what happens. With some white folks, they like to take a black man and make him crazy when he makes an argument that you don't want to hear. And you know what I got to say with that? Right there, buddy.
I don't mind so much him picking on the other tribe, but you can just see that once they're gone, that old Philip's coming back.
Yep, Philip is a go you drag to the end. This confirms it. There's no way he can win. Steve, Julie, and Ralph will 100% pass this on to those at Redemption and at Ponderosa. The jury will be 9 people, and that's like, what, 5 or 6 right there? Philip can't win. Boston Rob then wins immunity, and at Tribal Council, I am thoroughly impressed by Jeff helping Philip and Steve work through their issues, or at least get them to a mental state where they can live together again. So they all go to vote, and
11th person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Julie, the tribe has spoken.
The next day, we see Matt and Mike eliminate Julie because, of course, Matt just won't die. Grant wins immunity, and Rob says Ralph is physically stronger than Steve, so he is gone next. Ashley says, whatever Rob wants to do is what we will do. I mean, they are just loyal soldiers for Rob. Steve even tries talking strategy with her and Natalie, and they immediately snitch all of this to Rob. He has them under lockdown. But I won't bury the lead. Survivor's doing a double vote off this episode, and we all know where this is headed considering there are only 2 Zapatera left. So, Ralph is voted off, just like Rob wanted. They then do an impromptu immunity challenge, which Rob wins, why not? And then Steve is voted off. We are now finally done with Zapatera and could see the real drama between Ometepe. Who is next on Rob's hit list? Andrea, who says they're excited to finally vote off an Ometepe member. Andrea, like Scotty from Eurotrip, Andrea doesn't know. Natalie cries because of what is about to happen, and Rob comforts her. Despite all the smack talk he does in confessionals, Rob is great when it comes to maintaining and building relationships. He says, in only 8 more days, I'm gonna win this game, just as long as the other people don't smarten up. So we go to Redemption, where Matt wins again, and Steve is eliminated.
The Ometepe tribe is going to be whittled down one at a time. I'm betting Grant goes at the first opportunity. If Rob wins immunity, he'd get rid of a physical threat, maybe pick away at the girls so they don't set up, finally wise up to the power that they do have. I'd certainly like to see if it's a 3-person finals. I'd love to see the winner of the last one standing on Redemption Island. If it's Matt or Mike, most likely one of those two. Love to see them in the finals.
Steve might be onto something here. Anytime someone is voted off and says their opinion in relation to Rob, I will show it. But back to Redemption Island. This episode is the loved ones visit, and because Mike won the Redemption Island duel, he got first place. He gets to decide who gets love from their family. And in a shocking twist, he doesn't pick himself or those on Redemption, he picks those still left in the game. Wow, what an idiot. So back at camp, Rob talks to his sister.
Philip's a nut job, a wacko. But he's like the biggest goat. He's pissed everybody here off.
Oh, really?
If I drag him to the end, he doesn't get any votes.
Right.
You know? And I feel like right now, I'm playing my best game. But even everything that's happened up until right now means nothing unless I can finish it. I need this. It's to make a better life for my wife and my kids. Even though we're at a point now where some people might be taking a break from the game and thinking about home, it just makes me focus. I want to win Survivor. This is something I've been trying to do for 10 years now. I'm 8 days away. So there's nothing that's gonna stop me.
Unfortunately, Amber couldn't be there, but it makes sense because she's staying home with her kid. Rob says as long as Andrea doesn't win this next immunity challenge, she is gone. So at said challenge,
Rob, his leg's nearly buckling, crawling up these steps. He is literally carrying his family on his back. Rob with his last puzzle step, struggling to make it up without collapsing. Mariano wins immunity. You all right, Rob?
Oh, it's hot. My legs are burning.
You want me to have medical look at you?
No.
Once again, barely standing, Mariano safe at tonight's tribal council.
Rob is so dramatic, and I love it. After all, he literally carried his family on his back. Jeff and Rob need to get a room. Back at camp, Philip fights with the girls and tells us that he actually has an oral argument come Final Tribal that will make up for all of his stupid gameplay and win him the game. Really? I can't wait to hear it. Mind you, this is the same guy who, when Jeff asks why he's not a threat to Rob, he answers with how much better he was than everyone else in the army when it came to physicalness. Sure, buddy. So they all vote, and
14th person voted out. Andrea. Andrea, the tribe has spoken.
Episode 13 sees Natalie riding on her BFF Ashley to Rob. Why? Well, because Ashley told Natalie she wants them both in the final 3, meaning her and Natalie. Why would Natalie snitch on this? Ugh, it's ridiculous. And also, Ashley doesn't say who she wants as the third person in the final 3. It just kind of it's open-ended, but still Natalie snitches. This causes something to stir inside Rob. He now hates Ashley. Don't ask why, because I don't have a good answer. We see Matt win redemption again as Ralph is eliminated, and Rob tells Grant that there is something about Ashley he can't put his finger on, but he can't trust her. He says she has an evil inside of her that he hates. Now I gotta tell you, watching this Rob hating Ashley out of nowhere story has me dying of laughter every time. So I've had to record this many times, write this script without trying to die of laughter. I can't take it seriously. I really can't. Ashley asks Rob if they should vote off Grant next, and Rob, he's blown away. He says, "We can't vote off Grant next. That's absurd. How dare Ashley suggest such a thing?" So he talks to Natalie, and
I understand it's going to be hard, but at this point,
I can't stand what she's doing to you. I can see it. She's trying to tell you what's in your best interest. Natalie may not be the brightest player to ever play this game. We all know that. But Natalie is a sweetheart. She's innocent and she's pure. And Ashley's trying to corrupt that. Ashley and Natalie, they've been close since the beginning of this game, but it's never been a strategic closeness. And more I see Ashley imposing her wisdom on Natalie. And it's not a good thing. You know what I'm excited about? It's day 35. And after 35 days of having this pain in my ass, I think I'm gonna finally get some relief tonight.
The music and editing is supporting Rob, but he's being crazy. He has no one to target now, so he is conjuring up reasons to have an enemy. Ashley then wins immunity, and no joke, Rob says days like today are when he wished he had just stayed home. Oh, woe is me. Ashley won immunity. That makes Rob's fight for $1 million no longer worth it. So get this, he says, we're gonna vote off Grant. Excuse me? The thing Ashley said this very episode that Rob got offended by is now okay because Rob says so? Oh, I guess so. He even says, I have to do all the dirty work around here because everyone else is too stupid to do it. Which would be a villainous moment if the show didn't constantly support Rob 24/7. He talks to Grant and lies about what their plan is, and then tells Grant that he hopes Ashley chokes and dies. Wow. So he talks to Natalie and...
I knew for a while, but I know Ashley can't be trusted either. Because if she turned on Grant this quickly, it'll be me next. With Ashley and Natalie getting as close as they're getting, it could be a real problem if somebody were to come back from Redemption Island and they were to decide to join up with that person and decide that they don't need me anymore. In that situation, it would be more advantageous for me to break up Ashley and Natalie while I have the chance so that that doesn't happen. And I think Grant's a good guy. I really have made a good friendship with him throughout this show. I'm still sitting in a pretty good spot even though I didn't win immunity today.
I am blown away. Did Ashley do or say something we didn't see? Rob looks absurd here. How is Ashley wanting to turn on Grant make her untrustworthy when Rob's doing the same thing? The hypocrisy is unreal. At Tribal Council, Rob says the only thing motivating him now are Amber and his daughter. So they all go to vote and...
15th person voted out. Grant. Grant, the tribe has spoken.
It is finale time and Rob says, my gut is telling me that Ashley is up to no good. She has got to go. I am blown away. This rivalry with Ashley is by far the funniest thing Rob has ever done, and I don't know if he's ever gonna top it. We then go to Redemption Island where Matt finally loses in a shocker, along with Mike and Grant. To whom you may ask? Andrea. Andrea is now back in the game.
I would say, Rob is the favorite horse to make it to the end, and if he does, he'll probably command a lot of jury votes just because he played such a flawless game, and he was in control of that tribe from day one, and going into the merge with numbers, he really took over, and he made some great moves. So, I think he's the prize horse at this point.
Rob, he better win immunity today, or those girls are stupid if they don't vote him out. And I kind of think that they're stupid and they're going to take him because they love him so much.
Here's the thing. Even if the girls wanted to, they can't vote off Rob. Don't you all remember? Rob has the idol. That's why he threw the note in the volcano. It's been so long, I almost forgot. He can't be touched and he wants Ashley gone. Duh. Remember, she's basically the devil. Andrea tries pitching to the women to vote off Rob or Philip, but neither seem interested in this idea. Did you hear what I just said? It's the final five, and neither Ashley or Natalie care about voting off Rob or Philip. But remember, Ashley's the devil.
Ashley thinks she's a mastermind in this mother. You know what I mean, Ashley?
I want her to go.
Andrea wins immunity. Philip must go. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Ashley drives me nuts, but her tactics are so amateur hour. Natalie's a good-hearted little soul, one that's loyal. And, I don't like to see someone corrupt my soldiers. We just need to make them think that Andrea's going home.
Yes.
I can't wait to vote her ass out. I can't. 37 days. It's like the patience is finally going to pay off. and it's gonna be that much sweeter.
This only gets better as Ashley wins immunity. Oh, the horror. It's days like today where I'm not sure if I even wanted to be here. The pain. How will Rob ever win when the evil Ashley is still in the game? Back at camp, Rob says Andrea is next. He says this out loud to Andrea. Mind you, Ashley's never even done something like that. But remember, Ashley is the evil one. Philip spots Ashley and Natalie talking for like 10 minutes by themselves, and he snitches this information to Rob, who says, duh, it's Survivor. Welcome to the game, Philip. Everyone talks to each other. So they all go to vote, and
you know what? My mother always told me, better be safe than sorry.
This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast against Rob will not count. First vote, Rob, does not count. Andrea, that's 2 votes, Andrea. 16th person voted out, Andrea, once again, Travis spoken.
I'm actually rooting for Rob left in the game. He played the best strategic game. He really had us all, working in this Ometepe tribe. The girls could have done something tonight. They could have made a move, and I would actually had a little more respect for them, but they sat pretty and didn't budge. So, I'm rooting for Rob.
all of that, and Andrea's still voting Rob. He truly controls them all. He then promises Ashley and Natalie he will win immunity, and they can finally vote off Philip. He says this challenge is for the million, and the evil Ashley cannot win. So,
Let's work together.
Yeah.
I don't have anything yet. You?
No, plans.
You can work together all you want. Only one person will win immunity. Only one person will have that necklace tonight at Tribal Council. Only you are safe. He is. Yeah! Rob Moreno wins final immunity. Rob, safe tonight.
It was Amber that encouraged me to come back and try again. She believes in it. It's because of her. Like, whatever happens now, I'm okay, even if I don't win. Which is ironic, because the only reason I ever wanted to come back and play again was to win. But I feel like I did my best, but I'm not done yet. First of all, figure out which one of these other 3 idiots I'm gonna send home tonight.
Finally, Ashley, who is pure evil, even though Rob was the one trying to trick her, who is pure evil, has lost. She is being voted off next. He even tells Ashley that, don't worry, we're voting off Philip, keep it a secret. And she goes, okay, and she believes him because Ashley isn't the worst. Rob just is crazy. No one can trust her though. Remember that. No one can trust her. She's the worst. I'm sorry for even thinking anything different. I'm so sorry, Rob. Don't vote me off. Rob then talks to Natalie and says, we must vote off Ashley. And Natalie doesn't understand, but she agrees mindlessly to keep it a secret. So at Tribal, they all vote and
17th person voted out, Ashley. Ashley, the tribe has spoken.
I honestly didn't know I was going home. I probably am an idiot for thinking that because I was the biggest threat that Rob could have taken to the final 3. I mean, between Philip, Natalie, and Rob, I'm gonna vote for Rob. I already know that 100%. He, was like a brother out here to me, although he just voted me off.
I have an idea who I want to vote for, who I think deserves the money, but that doesn't mean I'm closed off to hearing all sides. I don't really think that Natalie and Philip have an argument, but I'm interested to see kind of what they come up with and the angle that they take.
finally, evil is gone. Everyone can rejoice. Are you all relieved like I am? Ashley terrorized Rob's game all season, and she has finally gone, never cause him havoc or corrupt his loyal soldiers ever again. But in all seriousness, I think Boston Rob is finally going to do what he couldn't quite pull off in All-Stars. Winning this game has eluded him, but this time, he knows what to do.
The jury can be funny sometimes. They try to make me cry. And you know what I did last time? I felt bad. And I said, I'm sorry. And you know what? Looking back in it, that's the biggest regret I ever had. I should have stood up and said, hey, kiss my ass. I made it all the way to the end. The first time the jury didn't feel I was worthy. I'm hoping that tonight I'm not going to screw it up again. As far as I'm concerned, I've done my job.
It is time. Final tribal council. This is when Philip is going to use his expert oral argument to turn the game on Rob and win it all. Remember, he said that. Yeah, we shall see. Boston Rob gives his opening speech and...
First of all, guys, I want to say thanks for just giving me the opportunity to play with you, particularly Ometepe. I think if I was on Zapatera from the beginning, it may have been a different story. Another thing that I thought a lot about, I've been out here for 117 days, basically 10 years on and off. I've been trying to climb this mountain and get to the top of it. And you know what? It's almost a third of my life. But does Survivor define me? It's been a huge part of my life, and it's been a huge chapter in my life, and it's a game that I love, but it doesn't. At the end of the day, it's about my wife and my child. That's why I'm out here. I love this game, but ultimately I want to win it so I can bring something home so they can have a better future. So I hope that I played the game the best in your eyes, and I hope you vote for me tonight. Thank you.
Clever in that he credits Ometepe for success and gives credit to Zapatera for being smart without ever making it like super obvious and in your face. He smartly avoids dunking on anyone or apologizing for anything. Someone has done their homework. What makes it even better is when Natalie and Philip both give their opening speeches, and in both of them, they say that yes, aligning with Rob is the best move I made all game, and I thank Rob for being here. Amazing. Just write him the $1 million check yourself, why don't you? Andrea is the first juror, and when she talks to Philip, he just tells her off. And again, Natalie gives Rob all the credit for her success. This is the Natalie Russell thought he was playing against in Samoa, but no, Rob actually got the Natalie that Russell wanted. Ashley is the second juror, and again, Philip tells her off too. Amazing, simply amazing, chef's kiss. I have no argument with Philip's oral argument. It is perfection. Grant is the third juror, and...
First of all, Natalie came up to me and said, tell me what to do. So I said, Natalie, if you do exactly what I tell you to do, I'll take you all the way to the end. The relationship that we had, I also trusted and valued all the way up until I felt like you were going to kick my ass. Because honestly, I didn't want to go against you sitting here.
Well, I still think it would have been fun to duke it out at the end with you. Like I said from the very beginning, good luck.
Ralph is fourth, and he says, Natalie, all you did was follow Rob. True. Julie says no one here played a respectable game, so of course Philip tells her off. Why wouldn't Philip do that? And says his big secret that no one here knew about. This is probably the thing that's going to turn around the whole game. Get ready, is that he was close to Rob the whole time. Amazing, Philip. You nailed it. No one's laughing at you, they're laughing with you. Mike is next, and he asks each of them what they have learned, and Rob says, I think I've learned to stop playing games, and I'm never going to play Survivor again. This is my last time. With that in mind, I do look forward to you all watching the next few Robfather videos I've planned. Steve then says, I respect Rob and Natalie, but definitely not Philip. David then tells the entire jury that voting for anyone but Rob would be criminal. And finally, we end on Matt.
Clearly, you were very duplicitous, manipulating, deceiving, and you were a liar. Where's the line drawn after 117 days, 10 years, and 4 seasons of Survivor?
Yeah, the line's drawn as soon as I'm back in my real life. But inside of the game of Survivor, I feel like it's necessary to play like this. But I find it to be very effective in playing.
Well, all the people that you betrayed are having a very hard time understanding who you really are. Great job to all 3 of you.
What a cakewalk of a final tribal council. It helps that none of them knew Rob personally before the season began, because I think that's largely what did him in on All-Stars, though he still could have won that season. But before we go to the live finale to see Rob win in a landslide, obviously, let's check out what happens on Ponderosa as soon as Final Tribal is finished.
Julie made up that whole story tonight at Tribal Council about Natalie and the rocks and me telling her to go get a rock. It wasn't even true. It never happened. But ironically, today, before I left camp, I saw these 2 rocks that Julie painted for her daughters. And out of the goodness of my heart, I said, I'm gonna put them in my bag and I'm gonna bring them and give them to her, because it's a nice thing. But then she was such a bitch at Tribal Council and made up this whole convoluted story. And for the record, Natalie never cut my nose hair or beard. That was Ashley. Okay? So, Julie, I was gonna give these to you, but instead, we're gonna leave them here in Nicaragua. Ready? Feel better?
Feels way better already.
All right.
First vote, Rob. Philip. Rob. 2 votes, Rob. Rob. That's 3 votes, Rob. Rob. That's 4 votes, Rob. 1 vote, Philip. The winner of Survivor Redemption Island, Rob.
So let's break this down. How is Boston Rob as a character? Is this the best version of the Robfather yet? It depends on who you ask. I personally think Rob peaked in the Robfather Part 3, aka he went full chaos with no worries about how others viewed him, but here's by far his best Survivor appearance as a character. In All-Stars, he was conflicted and young. Here, he's a bit wiser, and it shows. We hear many times people say Rob just knows what to say and who to say it to, and no one on Ometepe thought that Rob would turn on him until they did. That's how well he had them all feeling connected to him. Plus, Rob had so many fun moments this season, and he's constantly talking to us like we're also the smartest player in the room, like we're also in on the secret that Rob has. I mean, he just tossed that clue into the volcano for funsies. Everyone was his friend in their mind, but Zapatera saw through his nonsense. But it didn't matter. Ometepe was under a spell, and it never really mattered what Zapatera wanted. Out of 44 character moments shown on the show, 17 were anti-heroic and 27 were villainous, making Boston Rob a villain character on Survivor Redemption Island. Now, how is Boston Rob as a strategist? He's lucky he only had to play against recruits and newbies. Boston Rob knew how they thought, and he took full advantage. He's a great player. He won 4 individual immunities and was a big reason why they won many immunities in the pre-merge. But he needed a lot of stupidity and luck from his Ometepe teammates to pull this off, and he got it, and he made it work for him. I can't knock him for that. I cannot knock Boston Rob for having an idiot tribe. I can't. I actually think his game in All-Stars was more impressive, but admittedly, he was way more fun here. Just never mention Ashley's name again. I can't have her corrupting his loyal soldiers. Out of 68 strategic moments shown on the show, 59 were smart and 9 were dumb, making Boston Rob a smart strategist on Survivor Redemption Island. Thanks for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. I'll see you all next time.